Hello everyone, welcome to Information with Tepiso. I am Tepiso Waramukwena and you tuned into the 2025 NSFAS application process. So before we get into any details, these are the documents that you're gonna have to have before you start with the application. You need to have the NSFAS consent form. It must be filled here, up here on these blocks, applicant's ID number, top right. And when you're done, check here. It says no electronic signatures are required. So meaning that you have to print out this form and sign it manually and then scan it so that you can be able to attach it to the application, right? And then here it needs the signature of the applicant and the date of the signature. If the father is still alive and or is there in the applicant's life, make sure that you fill this area, their details, the signature, the initial, surname, cell phone number and email, and the date of signature, right? So if the father is not there, you can just leave this out, or you can add details of the guardian, right? Depending on who is the person that you regard as your next of kin in this application or for this application. And then here it requires you to enter the details of the mother or the guardian that you are staying with. If there are two, you can enter both guardian details on this father's part and then the second one on the mother's part, right? And then if you as the applicant are married, right, you will have to add the details of your spouse, your partner, your wife or your husband on this part of the consent form. So this is the fourth part of the consent form. And then the last part, you have the signature of the applicant again and the date of signature. This is just to declare that you understand and you are truthful with everything that you have put in on this consent form, right? The second document or other documents that you need to have are the ID documents that are certified of the people whom you have entered details of on this form. So if it's your father, you have to have the ID copy of your father certified. If it's your mother, the same thing, certified copy of her ID number, of her ID copy. And then if it's guardians, you have to have their ID copy that are certified. Then the other one would be your ID copy that is also certified, right? Cool. So we are done with this part of documentations that needs to be ready before you start with the application. Now, the second part is now, starting with the application. So you come to Google and you type NSFAS online application for 2026, right? But if you have searched for it before, it will appear on this list of options. Then you can just click on it and then it brings you to this page. You click on the first result that you get, which is the NSFAS website. You click on that, it will take you straight to the website or the web page of the NSFAS. So as soon as you land on this web page, this is what you see: the 2026 applications that are open, and the countdown is there to complete your application, right? It's closing on the 15th of November 2025. So this year it's closing a bit early, so make sure that you start now. As soon as you get this video or this information, and start applying. If you are too busy or you don't know how to follow the steps, we have a poster that tells you what we require for us as helping hands to assist you under the information with Tepiso channel. Okay, so you can scroll through the page just to familiarize yourself with NSFAS, anything related to NSFAS, but for the purposes of this video, we are just gonna go straight to click here to apply now, right? And then it will load and land you on this page. Oh, it's taking its sweet time. It lands you on this page. So what you need to do here is to either enter your ID number and your password if you have created a profile before. If you have never created a profile before, make sure that you don't stress your young life. You just go straight to where it says create profile here, right? I believe you can see it. So it's log in, and then next to log in on the right is create profile. If you forgot your password, you have a profile but you forgot your password, then you can click on here. But because the person that I'm assisting is creating a profile from scratch, we will click on create profile. But if you are already having a profile, you just put in your ID number here and then your password here as well, right? Cool. Let's create the profile. Okay, on creating your profile, they need your full names that are reflecting on your ID, your surname that's reflecting on your ID, the ID number, if you are married or not, if you're disabled or not, the race, you select also the province. So for the race and the province, there's a drop down arrow this side. I believe you can see it. You click down on that drop down arrow, and then it will show you the different races. Then you can choose any that you are. Then for the province, you also click on the drop down arrow, and then you select whichever province you are from, and then you can enter the other details. So it needs your hometown from Limpopo. So if this person is from the Limpopo province, they will have to enter their hometown where they stay, and then their applicant's email address. So the applicant's email address, you enter it there, and then the contact details of the applicant, you enter it there. And then it says, please note, all forms of communication from NSFAS will be sent to the registered contact number and email address. So this email address has to be correct. Your contact number has to also be correct. Don't make a mistake of putting your WhatsApp contact number and miss out on the SMS that they may send to your number, right? So here you have to click on this box. As you click on it, it will turn red, and then when you deselect it, it turns or it goes back to its original state, right? So you need to make sure that you read all the terms and conditions so that you understand everything. If you want to read them, you can click on where it says view terms and conditions, and then it will bring you to this page. As it opens the terms and conditions, then you can read through your terms and conditions, and once you understand everything, you can go back to your application portal. So because we are not here to read the terms and conditions, I will move through to this last part, which is password creation, right? So you will have to enter your password. Your password has to have numbers, it has to have a capital letter, it has to have small letters, it has to have a character, a special character. Special characters, mostly it's your exclamation mark, your @ sign, your hashtag sign, your $sign, your percentage sign, your and sign, so on and so forth, right? So you can choose to use any of those, and your password would be strong enough to allow you to click on there, I am not a robot. So when you click on I am not a robot, it has to give you a green tick. If you don't get a green tick, it will tell you that there are some parts up here that you did not enter, right? Or you did not put in or fill in. That's why it says please ensure that you complete all fields or blocks which are compulsory. So how do you know that this part is compulsory? These compulsory fields or blocks are indicated by an asterisk, right? So we usually call it a star, but an asterisk is found on the far left of each part that needs to be filled, right? Yeah, on the sides. So make sure that you fill all those details. But for the purposes of Poppy Act, I'm gonna have to enter the details of this person offline and then continue to the next page. So once you've filled everything, you click on proceed to apply for funding, and then it will take you to the next page that we'll talk about shortly. Okay, so now it will send you an OTP as the applicant. You have to make sure that you have your phone on and get that OTP. Check your SMS, and then once you get that OTP, you enter it there, and then you will go ahead and click verify, right? And it will then take you to this page where it welcomes you back, and then you put in your ID number so that you are able to log in, and your password. The password that you just created when you were creating a profile is the one that you use, right? Then once you've entered your ID number and your password, you can then go ahead and click on login, and you will land on the security question page. And on the security questions page, you are asked several questions. So you need to make sure that you select questions to which the answers are not going to be the same. So there's one that asks you about the city you were born in. There's one that asks you about the city your sibling is in, right, or is at. So if those two cities are the same, don't select that question. You're not obliged to select all the 5 questions. You can select 3. As you can see, I chose 3 so that you avoid any repetition of the answers, right? Then you will then come to this page where you answer those security questions. You type them out, and once all the security questions out, then you can click on submit, right? Okay, so now we are on this part of the application where you have to select which one you are. So just make sure that if you're choosing the loan, it's because your parents are earning an annual, or the annual household income of where you come from is above 350,000 and less than or equal to 600,000 rands, right? But if they are earning anything less than 350,000, you qualify to get the bursary, the NSFAS bursary. So you can apply for the NSFAS bursary. As you can see here, for disabled students, your household income must be less than or equal to 600,000 rands, right? That's for disabled students that want to apply for the bursary. And then it says bursary applicants who are not disabled and have been rejected for a bursary based on a household income exceeding 350,000 will be allowed to apply for a loan if their family income is less than or equal to 600,000 rands, right? That's the second condition, right? So for this student, the parent earns less than 350,000 per annum. So I'm going to click on this one. You see, I want to apply for a bursary. Then you go to continue. When you get to continue, it shows you this part. You can read through it. These are your terms and conditions, and you have to accept the NSFAS bursary terms and conditions agreement, right? So you can just click on I have read the NBA terms and conditions. You can click there to download them as well, where I'm highlighting. You can click there to download them and read them, and then you go to accept, right? You can't decline because it will not allow you to continue with the application. Okay, so now we continue. Are you disabled? No. Or disability information? You are not disabled. Is your annual household income less than or equal to 350,000 before deduction? It's less than. So if you click no, it will redirect you to the first page, right, where it was prompting you to choose whether you're applying for a loan or you're applying for a bursary. But because you would have clicked yes, it will take you to the next step. Let's just click no, and then you see it brings us back here, and then automatically clicks I want to apply for a loan on your behalf, right? So that you can continue, and then you have to enter the details of applying for a loan. But because we want a bursary, we will continue with this, right? Cool. Then we continue. I just needed to show you that, and you click yes. Then academic information. What is the highest grade you have achieved? That's grade 11. You are currently in grade 12, or if you have finished grade 12, you can click on your grade 12 there. And then for which cycle are you applying? You're applying for university, annual university, so 2026 annual university. But if you're going to the first semester of a TVET college, you will click 2026 semester 1 TVET college. And then if you are going for a trimester, you will click on the 2026 trimester 1 TVET college. And then if you're going for the whole year, whatever you applied for at a TVET college is for the whole year, you will click on 2026 annual TVET college, right? But for this student is annual 2026 annual university. If you apply to all of them, you can just if you apply to all of them, what do I mean by that? You apply to a university, you apply to a University of Technology, and you also applied to a TVET. Then you can just click one, because it doesn't allow you to choose as many, you see. So you can just click on the highest one and then click on next, go to the next page. Okay, so when you get to this point, it's asking you a few questions. You just answer yes or no, and then you can provide the details for the ones that you click yes for, right? If you are able to provide your parents, both of them's details, you can click yes and then give all the details. Then proceed to the next page where it asks you if you have received any provisional acceptance or any letter of acceptance from any institution that you applied to, right? So if you haven't received anything, you can click no. But if you have received something from acceptance, right? Acceptance or provisional acceptance from any institution you applied to, you can click on yes, right? And then once you click yes, you then click on next, and it will land you to this page where you have to upload the different documents that it requires. So remember that NSFAS consent form that I told you to have ready. So you're going to click there for the parent. If both parents' details were entered, then it will require that same consent form that they signed to be attached for both, right? But for this applicant, the consent form that we're going to attach is that of the mother, right? Because she could not provide details of what? Of the father. Are we okay? Yes, but if you have both guardians or two guardian or have both parents, make sure that you attach the same consent form because they would have both signed the same consent form, right? And then you come to yourself as the applicant, you attach that same consent form that you signed as well, which your parents also signed or your guardian signed. And then if you have that provisional letter that you received from whatever institution that you applied to, you click on that area where it requires you to choose a file, to attach a file, and you click on it. It will take you to where the file or the document is saved in your laptop or in your phone, depending on what device you're using. And then you click on or you select the document that is the letter, right? The acceptance letter. And then you open, or rather load it. Then, oh boy. As you can see, I've attached the consent form for the applicant, the mother, and the letter of acceptance. Then you click next, then it brings you to this page to confirm all the details if they are correct. If not, you can go previous and correct them. If they are all correct, then you will have to click on the submit, right? Once you click on the submit icon, it brings you to this page where it shows you all those terms and conditions, the rules and everything. You scroll all the way down and then you have to click on that box and click on agree, right, or submit. Then it brings you to this page where you select the dashboard and it brings you to this page. On this page, it shows you the percentages application progress, right? The percentages of how much you still need to attach or complete for this application, right? I'll do another video for more details in relation to how to complete these percentages. Ladies and gentlemen, for now, this is Information with Tepiso. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope this is helpful. And we will meet in the next upload. Just make sure that you complete the attachments looking at the next video, because this one is already very long. See you in the next upload. Thank you. Bye for now.